I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
Boys are so silly.
This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching
They
powder?
know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even forest bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. But I can't.
Oh, hello and welcome to the Periodic Table of Awesome. My name is Dion, and we're going to snickety-doo into tonight's movie, film thing that we're reviewing with the lovely Jill and Peta and Quinny. The gang's all here. Everyone's back.
LFG, let's fucking go.
Looking for group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lasagna for Garfield.
Pete, do you have any sort of
Any other?
Three
Oh,
LFG?
I didn't prepare an LFG. I didn't realize that was part of the assignment. I saw the film.
It's good. Excellent. Amazing.
Large
Who's a friendly
gun?
giant?
Yeah.
The original is the large friendly giant.
Yes. Which is the prequel to the big friendly giant.
Sure. All right. Look, you know,
Cousin.
look, it's Deadpool. It's Wolverine. It is the best of the best of the best of the Fox era movies related to the Marvel content machine. And we have to put something straight up. I think straight up the front and be like, we're going to have like a spoiler-free section, and then that's going to be real short. That's going to be a small part of this. And then we're going to have to jump straight into the spoilery section because it's nigh on impossible to accurately review or even talk about this film without spoiling something for anyone. I mean,
I am just super fucking glad that I got to see the film before, I don't know, Saturday. Because within like minutes of getting home from watching it, I, opened up YouTube or something like that, and then boom, there was a spoiler. Then boom, and I was like, holy shit, how are you meant to avoid this stuff? Like,
you're not, but I mean, I think the thing about this is that there is so much in there that it is so heavy with bits and pieces that it drops in that even if someone tries to remember everything, and this is why we have 4 people doing this one, trying to get everything in there, you're gonna forget something. If you're trying to tell friends about it, you're like, okay, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Oh, and this character was in it, and then this person shows up.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Oh, and then this happened. Yeah, you're gonna forget something. So at least you'd be able to have something new if you went back. You know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What?
So, what was it? Was everybody in a big hurry to watch it? Was that the thing? Like, get in?
Yes.
When did you watch it, Jill? Pete?
Peter and I went and saw it on Thursday, so the day after opening night, but like the official opening night, because
Right,
there were screenings on the Wednesday.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
You managed to see it within an accurate enough time frame, kind of one of those sort of things. And I saw it within enough time that was fine. This is one of those ones that I highly recommend you do go out and see it, and hopefully everyone has seen it. If there's anyone still here in the chat or listening to this right now who hasn't been spoiled, well done to you, because I mean that's a good week, of just avoiding things. Maybe you're in Burkina Faso, who knows?
Well, you may be living under a rock. But even still, the
in
spoilers
Madripoor.
will find you under the fucking rock.
So
we didn't watch it Thursday night because Dion and I were off at another screening event. We were watching the new Transformers animated film, which was
the
like,
what?
Hey, cool.
You actually sounded like you went into a transforming cog mechanism there. You went.
That's me. I'm Kieger.
Transformers one.
Yes. Transformers the one.
Yes.
Yes, but that's not what you guys, we're watching this and we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Straight out of the gate. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it?
100%.
Yeah.
That's not my score, but
Jesus. I was like, fucking hell, right, aren't you?
Straight into that one.
yes, enjoyed it. I slapped Peter in the arm a couple of times.
Yeah.
Pete, did you enjoy it?
Good slaps?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, and I understood why, like 80% of them. It was great.
80% is amazing for you.
That
Pete.
is huge.
That's just
Look, I would
like-
say for a film that's probably about 96% in jokes, as like a casual MCU fan, I feel like I got like 65%, and that was enough for fun times.
Right, okay. Because I feel like it was 150% in jokes.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there were actually in jokes they had to remove and leave on the table because they just couldn't fit any more in. I feel like there were just in jokes everywhere outside of it. They have even done in jokes. Like the marketing is in jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's dripping with in jokes. It's so they've gotten all of the jokes and references they could, and then sort of that old thing where you put a bunch of rocks in a jar, and then you put the sand in the jar, and then you put the little sand in it, and then you're like, is the jar filled now? No, you can put a little bit more in the jar, and then you top it up with water, because all of that was just quips and jokes and fucking nods and winks and references and a little bit extra here. It was just. Yes, it was the turducken of in jokes.
I think the important point to make there is that the barrier to entry isn't so high that you can't have a bunch of fun with a smaller amount of knowledge than it is intended for. Though I possibly wouldn't come in on this one fully cold.
I would hope that you're not going to come into this one having not watched the first two Deadpools or one of 34 other films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the 12 X related films.
I think if you've never ever watched a Marvel movie and you've started dating someone that's really into it and they take you to this, you are going to get 0 out of this movie.
You're going to be so confused.
Yeah.
Look, there are this film touches on the 26-year and perhaps a little bit more, but the definitely 26-year history of adjacent Marvel films, and that's what I kind of that's what I kind of loved about it. And I'm just going to say it is really a love letter to the 20th century Fox side of everything. And that's what kind of makes it amazing. But in the same way, it absolutely relentlessly tears the ass out of it constantly.
Yeah.
I also suspect there are quite a few deep comic cuts that I did not get.
And we will get to those.
100%. I suspect, don't know for sure. I suspect.
Wink, wink.
There were some layers that I may have missed. Yet I still had fun and felt included in the in-jokes most of the time, even if I was aware that I wasn't included in every single layer of every single joke.
Well, I mean, Karina in the chat is just asking the question. Is like, oh, I really like to see this with someone who hasn't seen any of the MCU or X-Men stuff. I'm like, then why are you going to Deadpool 3? Like, if you don't, if you have never seen any of that sort of stuff, if you're like, yes, I've been researching in a library for the last 30 years, and I've come out Deadpool and Wolverine, that sounds like fun.
I love to think that there's like a boomer somewhere who really like just loved seeing Hugh Jackman in Music Man when they were on Broadway. Like, oh,
I
Hugh
really
Jackman film,
enjoyed
I'll
that
see
young
that.
man.
I
I
like that
enjoyed
young
him in
man.
Oklahoma.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
Yes, I saw him in Boy from Oz in the original run. Oh, I might just
That Ryan Reynolds
You know,
fellow, I
just
quite
turn up
liked
to
him in
places
Buying
with
the
no
Cow.
plans, and they're just like, oh, I guess I'll see that one.
Yeah.
Like,
dear.
I'm just hoping for that scenario at some point in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, look.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere, and there's probably someone somewhere who's writing a very angry review about this film.
Yes,
It's
I
just
don't
like,
like this.
Didn't understand a word of it.
It
Rah,
had
why were there so many?
too much potty talk. I didn't like it.
Oh, I have seen a few Christian people who went on to social media to say we left 25 minutes in because they blasphemed so much. Like,
Cool. Did
You
they
know,
also?
the
what the fuck you were getting?
I hope
They're
they
the
also.
same people that thought the opening ceremony was satanic.
Yeah. Of the Olympics.
It's
Yes.
them.
I mean
Ugh.
the ring circus, because we can't actually say that we're talking about that, or we might get sued by the.
What?
Oh no,
Oh,
it's just
shit,
the
okay.
Olympics. I mean, it's like
Don't use the O word.
it's like saying
Oh.
superb owl. You know.
Oh,
you know.
wow.
The ring
I
cycle.
didn't realize that this was something that you could get pinged for.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, we'll just rebroadcast some of the competition at one point, just in the middle
Yeah,
of this
sweet.
Just to
YouTube
appease
video.
them.
Yeah, just to be like. To
Well,
make
then I
sure that
won't
we go.
slag off the media at Channel 9 then, because they're the ones that are probably leaving the shit reviews.
Oh well, you know they've got nothing else to do because they're on strike. Nah.
Because Richard Wilkins buying his own movie tickets for a change.
I'm sorry. Richard Wilkins has A, never bought his own fucking movie tickets, and B, probably never stayed through the fucking film, because I have been to so many screenings where Wilkins has been there and fucked off 10 minutes in.
That's right.
Yeah, but still gave it 3 stars.
Yes, he left.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
He left it. He leaves an assistant there to watch and give him a recap. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. We're like, okay. Can we just do a quick roundup of all of this?
Okay.
Quick question. Hands up, everyone who saw Deadpool.
Yes.
Hands up, everyone who saw Deadpool 2.
Yes. Both versions.
And hands up, everyone who saw X-Men Wolverine's Origins. X-Men Origin Wolverine, yes. And then the X-Men, what was the next one? The Wolverine. There we go. That's
Yes.
what it was.
Both versions.
And then Logan.
Yes.
Okay. So we actually are familiar with the Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, buddy.
Oh yeah, no, I got that far.
Good.
Like, I had that much.
Cool. And were we excited when they announced they were doing Deadpool and Wolverine together at last within their same thing, especially
Yes.
since Hugh Jackman had retired from that, apparently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we
I mean,
had.
it was a,
Do we have expectations going in?
Yes.
yes.
And is everyone happy with how they were met?
Yes.
Or do you think they met them? Do you think they exceeded them?
I think
Yes.
I literally said to Jill while we were going in, I don't really care if this has a plot. I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you?
Yes.
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 What it said on the tin, it did.
Yeah. I think
Absolutely.
we listed 3 things. It was like fun, references, and heartwarming moment. And
Yeah.
tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, I wasn't even, you know what? I wasn't even necessarily sure I was going to get a heartwarming moment, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? It did more than I expected.
Hmm.
I found pathos that I wasn't expecting to find, and I was like, oh, and I mean, we kind of knew we were getting a bit of that with Wolverine. You see that in the trailers, like there's going to be some heartfeltness, but I was pleasantly surprised that it actually had more heart than I was expecting. So, you know,
Actually, I think it threw in a few things that I wasn't expecting that I ever wanted, and then I got them, and I wasn't disappointed.
yeah, I was
Good.
I was very pleasantly surprised by how much I kept on being given.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it was like Christmas morning, and I was like, oh, another package. Oh,
Yeah.
another. Oh, thank you. Oh, another fucking hell, really?
I mean, I
No.
really do feel like that they heard that, you know, we wanted something, so you were expecting them to turn the amps up to 11, except they didn't. They just threw the amp out, and then and then just hooked you into 3-phase, I think, for the entire time, and you're like, this is probably real bad for me, but I'm having a great time. Yeah, it overwhelmed me so much that I lost all critical opinion.
I will say that there are a couple of things that I like. I occasionally put my critic hat on, and I thought, okay, is this working as a film structurally and everything like that? And I was like, there are a couple of moments that I thought that probably ran a little long.
If we're going to make complaints, there are, like, if you were going to make film complaints, there are certainly complaints to be made. I don't know if we'll have time for that, but you know.
Yeah, this is not a complaint film.
I mean, it's not a complaint film. There were moments that I was like, what? Hang on, I got a little lost there or something like that. But also, I didn't care because then the next 2 seconds, somebody said something funny or somebody showed up or there was a dog or whatever, you know.
Yes.
I think for all of the niggles that you might have with it, I think there was enough in there that it kind of explained it all away, or you forgave it for making those errs.
Yeah, or it fully just referenced exactly what you were thinking at that time, and then just kept going.
Yeah.
It was kind of like getting onto the fast lane on a highway, and then you just too panicked to get off that time, and you're like, "It's fine, I'm just reacting now." Like it knew what it was doing. It's like,
by the time I've seen something, it's already gone past me. It's brown trousers time.
Yeah. It's out that way.
Yeah.
I asked everyone quickly because we need and honestly, we cannot review this without talking about all of the spoilery bits. So we're going to get really quickly into the spoilers now. It's been a quick time. And I asked everyone to quickly come up with the idea of the numbers in your head. So we're doing ratings right now. So yeah, we're going to rate, and then we're going to go and see a different trailer, and then we're going to come back and talk about every single motherfucking thing that we saw in that film and discuss at length whether we're loved it.
Pull this shit apart.
Did we like it? Did we super like it? Did we just absolutely get so moist that we had to change seats after that moment?
And another question I do want to know, are you interested in going back and watching it again?
Yes.
Yes, I considered it. After Pete and I watched it on Thursday, I know that you guys were at Transformers, and I know that Quinny was booked in to see it on Friday, and I was like, I wonder if Dion's going by himself, if he wants someone to go with him.
Yeah.
Can I cram this in again before the show on Tuesday?
I almost did, but I found a watching buddy on the way home from work on Saturday. Yeah.
I also just ran out of time to cram it in
Yeah.
again. But I mean, I don't know if I'll go to the movies again and see it. I'll wait till streaming.
Yeah.
And then abuse it there.
Sure.
I personally would happily go back and rewatch it in the movies because I found myself, enjoying myself so much. I love the idea of another couple of hours in the popcorn in the dark with that stupidness.
I pre-watched Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 ahead of this one, and I've got to say that the Deadpool movies have gotten better, but it is pinned by the fact that Ryan is just passionate about it.
I was going to say some of the jokes kind of aged in the first one because I did rewatch it again a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, jokes aren't quite hitting like they used to.
But I mean, I also watched The Proposal.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
And talking about,
I love it because I made that joke today, and Dion said, "Actually, quite like the proposal." And then, scant seconds later, in the group chat, Jill's like, "Don't you talk bad about the proposal?"
But in terms of problematic content, pretty high up there, really. Let's be honest about it.
I know that we have talked about this movie before on the podcast, and it has been pointed out that it is problematic. But you shut your mouths.
Okay, so what are your ratings for the proposal then?
99.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No.
Chill out of the gate. No. Okay, let's drop some numerical.
Oh, hang on, wait! Before you do that, sorry, Quinny, I forgot. I've thrown myself out. Firstly, for everyone just there, what's Deadpool Wolverine all about?
Oh, fuck. Oh my god, we nearly.
Synopsis, holy shit, we're rushing through this too quickly. Wow.
We're so excited.
Or do
that
you
we
want to
have
do?
tell you what
Do
we
you want
watched and what it's about.
do you want to do that after the bit,
I
just
don't
before
know.
the spoilers?
I don't know. When do you want to do it? I don't know. We're out the fucking weeds now. We're in the void. We don't know what's happening.
Talk
Right
about
then.
kids on Christmas morning. All we want to do is start like ripping the presents open.
Yep.
Do you have to do your synopsis? I don't want to do a synopsis.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready.
We didn't even do our rating.
Hey, Quinny, do an Aussie accent for this one. But like a shit American version Australian
Oh
accent.
right. Oh fucking hell. Okay. A listless Wade Wilson toils away in civilian life with his days as the morally flexible mercenary Deadpool behind him. But when his home world faces an existential threat, Wade must must reluctantly suit up again with an even more reluctant Wolverine.
Okay, you're never allowed to do an Australian accent ever again.
Or like a triple reverse accent challenge that was just like thrown at you in the moment. Respect.
Thank you. I'm sorry, there was a large pause there as my brain went, how do I do this?
Go to channel $900 dues.
That's it. Jill, you're doing it next time.
Yeah. I literally just watched an American try and do a shit Australian accent on a show I was watching, and I was like, okay. Very difficult.
And now that we've got that synopsis, what's your rating, Quinny?
Okay. Sorry, my rating is my accent, apparently.
Yeah.
My rating, look, I'm gonna go a 95. I had a fucking ball. Like there were moments that I thought, oh, okay, this kind of maybe took a little bit of extra time, or there were a few fight sequences. I went, we're really fucking hammering this one, aren't we? But at the same time, it just jumped along to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and I had a fucking ball with it. So yeah, it's a 95 from me. Is it up there with Logan? Not quite, but does it shit all over, the history of everything? No, it's just fucking good. Oh, look at those people dropping their numbers in the chat.
Yes, people dropping numbers in the chat. That's lovely. Jill, have you got a number rating?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 90.
Yeah.
90.
Yeah, I don't. There was just some moments that kind of didn't hit that hard for me. I think kind of a chunk of the movie that was set in the void, and I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. There's just a section where I'm like, this stuff is a little bit loose, a little bit flat. I'm like, it's not really punching, but everything else was fabulous. Yeah, just kind of lacked a lot of the story building that like the first two were capable of doing in 2 hours. Like it just kind of felt like there wasn't as much content in this one, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Peter, as a lifelong Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds rom-com fan, how did you find it?
I'm going to go for 88 which is very high, because it gave me exactly what I wanted from it, which was lots and lots and lots of fun. But if I was going to measure it up against cinema like Logan,
Cinema.
Cinema.
That would have.
Oh no!
Oh no, we lost Pete.
Cinema
Yeah,
killed it.
It's all very like whatever, however we feel in the moment, really. But if I was going to put the two together right now, I would rate Logan higher. So just to kind of keep things contextual, and because a good 40% of the jokes weren't actually for me, 88. That's really good.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
That's great.
Yeah. No, it's not a perfect 100. I mean, I gave it 80.
No.
and then
Okay.
an additional 5 points for the comic book references, which were for me, and then
Yes.
another 5 for the amount of cameos, which were also kind of for me, but also so well done that I'm like, okay. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to get one more 5-pointer.
You know you're at 100, right?
No, I said 80.
No, he's at
And
95.
I've done
Oh, right.
yeah. Another 5-pointer for the post-credit scene sequence about the behind the scenes from all of the Fox
Oh.
movies.
Oh my God.
Yes, which is just lovely. I mean, and that's not really a spoiler because that's just behind the scenes of movies that were already made, which you can watch on the DVD extras of any of those movies.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. There was a lot of stuff in there that I've never seen before. Like there was footage in there that I was like, "Fuck, I've never seen that before."
You just didn't watch X-Men 1.5 with the behind the scenes, did you?
Oh, you're right. I didn't. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Had a moment where I actually had a bit of a teary. I was watching that little montage, and I actually was like, "Fuck, that's 24 odd years of X-Men films of people working their ass off." And occasional hits and occasional misses. But if this is putting an end point on the entire Fox Marvel X-Men universe, I had a good time. Thanks.
It brought a little tear to my eye every time someone got stabbed in the dick. So there's a lot of times during this movie where I had a little tear in my eye going, holy shit.
Can you believe that Hugh Jackman was 31 years old when first X-Men came out?
Oh my God.
Shut up, Jill. All right. Okay. So that's it. Fair warning to everyone on the chat as well that we're going to go and look at another trailer, and then we're going to come back and do spoilers because we're going to do that now.
Yeah. I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. Or I want to use that for something important. I waited a long time for this team up. In my world, you're well regarded. You were an X-Man. Fuck that, you were the X-Man. The Wolverine. He's a hero in my world.
Yeah, well, he ain't shit in mine. Scott used to beg me to wear this suit. So did Storm and Beast. But I couldn't have him thinking I wanted to be there. And it was too late.
It's only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I have no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save them.
Whoever you think I am. You got the wrong guy.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
Are you ready?
Fuck yeah, I'm ready. I'm the Wolverine.
All right.
Stop it.
Oh, of course, that's the fucking let's go. Wait, spoilers.
fucking go.
Spoilers are in. So, oh no, don't do that one. Click on this one. Yeah, there we go. Spoilers there. Sorry, I got a bit excited about that one. Okay, fair warned, everyone's in there, ready for this shit. Who wants to start? Anyone?
Like, which spoiler is the best one? Like,
you know what? Okay, no, I'm going to pull this one out. This is like I have a
Okay,
lot. I
okay.
can go to dark places on this film. First, for someone who doesn't know too much, Peter, tell me, what was your favorite spoiler? Nothing.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't know you were gonna. I thought you guys were just gonna like run with it. And
I just want to know like the thing that surprised you the most. We're talking about spoilers. What was your most fun part
What
of
was the thing that
film?
made you go,
Oh.
ha!
Because I can talk for hours about it. Jill can probably. Quinny can probably.
My favorite spoiler was the Chris bait and switch.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Can we start calling that the crispy bait and switch?
Yeah, the crispy bait and switch, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
I too enjoyed that because I have to admit, when it first came up, I was like, "Oh my god, they got Captain America back," and I was there with it, and I'm there like, "No, this is great. The Caps just ended up. This is amazing." And then when he said "Flame on," I was like, "Holy shit!" And inside my heart went,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
My
That
heart
was,
caught fire and leapt into the sky.
"Oh dear."
I think that was the second moment I slapped Peter
Just
in the
that
arm.
film, like,
the
it feels
first one
so
being
long
the
ago.
Cavalrine.
Oh, the Wolverine.
The Cavalrine. Fuck.
Look, I mean, every single it was really great that the film opens and it goes straight to that pathos moment, the body of Logan, and found that and was just like, okay, and then we're gonna do a whole opening scene with that, and that was kind of like, cool, this is setting a nice tone. I understand everything. Sorry, Rob McElhenney, you were removed from that scene, but whatevs. And then every single thing about him trying to find the other Wolverine, there was so much fun in there that I loved it from a comic fan perspective and a movie fan perspective, and I was loving every single part of it.
Like the moment, like, because it's a bold start to go, and I love that they make the choice to say, okay, how are we going to address Logan? Because Logan is a high watermark. It's a perfect moment in superhero storytelling. What do? We shit on it right from the start. We shit on it, and then we exhume it. We use the bones to kill a whole bunch of people, and we write our credits on the bones. That's like it addresses it and deals with it so quickly, and you're like, and with some amazing
set it to a
music
dance
go with it.
montage of NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye.
Exactly. And then go in for a massive fucking roller coaster of various different Wolverines.
And so many Wolverines.
Oh,
I think like the 5'0" Wolverine freaked me the fuck out.
You leave our size appropriate Wolverine that was based on comic canon. Yeah. And it's like I love
brown outfit Wolverine with the Hulk.
Oh. Brown outfit, Green Hulk, Patch, which is Wolverine's alter ego from Madripoor, which is basically Hong Kong, in case people are following along at home. But why am I explaining this?
My favorite of all of the Wolverines, I love the Cavalrine. I thought that was fucking amazing. But when they did Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, with full fucking 90s hair and like
the actual costume
and the one hand.
Yeah, one hand, I was just like,
yes, uncanny, like crucified, uncanny X-Men Wolverine. I love it. Yep, especially when it was done in the colors too, the same color palette, and I was like, come on. Peter, how did you find that? What were your favorite comic book references?
Yeah, where were you at with the Wolverines?
That was a fun sequence.
Yeah, it really was though, and I mean, it was just one of those sort of great little bits to get us into the mood of it, and also Hugh Jackman just having the best time being able to do all the different Wolverines, and you knew that they made him read all of those different comics so he would understand.
Absolutely, and then you kind of move off into the main plot. There was one sequence that confused me ever so slightly, and I ended up asking a question on Threads and being roundly and soundly fucking toasted for it.
On social media?
On Threads?
I know. If I'd have done it on Twitter, I'd be dead. But no, the sequence where he goes to apply for the Avengers with Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
I either wasn't paying close enough attention to the supers at the bottom of the screen, but I was like, hang on, which fucking universe are we in? And it says at one point,
you blinked and you missed it.
Yeah. So, and also, what time frame are we in? Because not only was that in the 616 universe, which I didn't think was also the numbering of the main universe. And what year? It was in 2018. So technically, Tony wasn't dead.
No.
So I was watching that going
pre-snap.
Yeah, and so that whole sequence, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Are there Avengers in his universe? And then they jump back.
Wow,
So
you must have been crucified.
I was.
Because, excuse you, but you were not paying attention. And
There
you
are-
dared ask the internet.
There are literally 50,000 views of that
doesn't-
thing
it
of people
doesn't-
going, "You're a fucking idiot. Well, you're not paying attention." Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Especially because you had the gall to ask it in the way of like, was I not paying attention? And
Yeah.
then had
Yeah.
that confirmed for you
Mhm.
by the rest of the internet and then abused for doing something slightly out of normal and asking
Also,
questions.
I mean, I was asking because I'm pretty sure that the main MCU wasn't 616 for quite a long time. It was 1999 or something stupid like that.
No, they changed it.
Yeah, see, I missed that.
But
so-
what's great about this is it doesn't have to fucking matter because
No,
even-
and that's what I kept on coming back to.
Yeah,
It was
in
like all
Deadpool
these
and
people were getting
Wolverine.
angry at me, and I'm going, it doesn't fucking matter. It was comedy.
Yeah. And also, it didn't give a shit. It didn't care left, right, or center whether or not you were offended. It offended you. It didn't do anything like that. It was just one of those great moments of like, we're going to try and cram an explanation into what's happening to Wade since he kind of fixed everything at the end of Deadpool 2 and saved everyone, but also his life hasn't worked out quite that great. And let me just say, I really love the fact that Wade Wilson's apartment where he's hanging out with all the people he saved is boring as fuck. And all of them are doing nothing. And there's nothing better than watching people resurrected like Shatterstar wandering around doing nothing in the background and not contributing to anything. Colossus. Just to have them all there was fun enough.
So, and now I unfortunately think I've confused Missy.
What?
Our Deadpool is not from the 616 universe.
No.
No, he is from the 10,005 or whatever it
What?
is, which is
Oh,
the,
now I'm
the
getting
X-Men universe.
I'm getting angry in the chat as well, going, wait, what happened to Shatterstar? Didn't he die in Deadpool 2? And it's like, yes, and then he got saved.
Yes,
Yeah,
by all
at
of
the
the
end.
time traveling with Cable's device. This is
And-
how
and-
we got to the TVA being included in this.
And it's not just time traveling; it's universe jumping because of something that Yukio did.
Yes.
She fixed the time travel device so it could also jump universes.
Which explains why he was able to shoot Ryan Reynolds in one universe and stop him from
Exactly.
making
Yes.
Green Lantern. And kill the Deadpool from X-Men Origins.
Yes, multiverse as well as time traveling.
Yes.
Yes, Missy, he
Yes.
did do a multiverse travel. This is why I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
confused. This is why I got fucking roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because he went and tried out for the Avengers and was told, "No, you're ugly," basically.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the fun thing about it. Like, all of it is he's just trying to save again the people that he loved and the people that he wanted. So that means that he has to go around and, replace the anchor being in his universe. Because there are anchor beings and fine, whatever. I mean, I'm sure he could have just gone and talked to Loki and be like, how do I fix this?
Yeah. I love that there was like a convoluted story plot point thing that like really didn't make sense. But when they addressed it by saying, "What in the MacGuffin is that?" to the device that was going to be the crux of the film, it really just cemented that, yes, we know this is bullshit and we're just trying to make it work, but we're happy to point that out to you.
Yeah, we just needed a Basil exposition from fucking the.
We did. We had one. His name was
Oh my
Paradox.
God, Matthew McFadden.
Yeah,
He was
Matthew McFadden.
fantastic.
Yeah. We had Paradox, like someone in there to do this. We didn't know what was going on. And we got to have every single piece of bullshit, stupid answer to everything from the MCU come into play in this to help blend in the Fox universe and the MCU and acknowledge that right the way through. So, you know, with something that is as fucked up as the MCU, although this is what I expect from people. It's like, if you read comics and you went through with the Marvel universe for a while and then you watch all the films, you're like, why are these gotten so convoluted and stupid and they don't connect and people have overwritten stuff and it doesn't make sense anymore? And I'm like, yeah, just like the comics. Who'd have thought a company that continuously overwrites itself, makes problems, introduces paradoxes, and like has had many reboots would come with a franchise and be like, it's all interconnected, but it's interconnected badly. It's like trying to put Lego into Duplo and then Duplo into building blocks. And
I
then
would have loved to have seen the Watcher just stick his head in at the corner of a frame and go, "No, fuck this, I'm out."
just stick in and go, oh no.
No, not you. You're a bad person, Wade Wilson. Yes. in the end, it's a whole bunch of jiggery pokery to try and get people together. And who do we get together? You get Deadpool and Wolverine, and you get the worst Deadpool and no, sorry, the worst
best.
Wolverine and the best Deadpool. Deadpool Prime.
Is he Deadpool Prime though? Because he just called himself. He said
Yeah.
he said like, what did he say? Jesus. He called himself
Yeah, Marvel Jesus.
Marvel Jesus, which is great. That's exactly what you wanted from all of that.
Mhm.
It's so funny, and then they fight, and then they
Yeah.
do all these
Yeah.
things, and I like that they bicker like the Odd Couple, and that's
Yeah.
kind of lovely. And then I don't know. They ended up in the Void. Is it called the Void still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we at least we get to introduce Cassandra Nova. So that was a really nice way to introduce that character. The what do you call it? Something twin when you
Conjoined
Fraternal.
twin or whatever the
Fraternal.
Oh.
twin inside who was killed by Charles and absorbed. Like it's a weird fucking book.
Yeah, they kind of changed her origin a little bit.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I mean, she was a danger in the womb, and like fetus Charles fucking killed her.
Yeah.
And her spirit left and went to another plane of existence, and then that's where she became Cassandra Nova. So it's like the equivalent of he ate and consumed his twin in the room kind of thing.
But because they were both powerful psychics. Yeah.
Yes,
She didn't really
yes.
die. And yeah.
Sorry, Pete's
Yeah, I
face
know.
is doing a thing.
I
Sorry,
know.
so is that the comics origin of
That's the
Cassandra?
comics.
Okay, because I was going to say that I was not listening to the movie. If that's what happened in the movie. I thought that she was born and then the TVA zipped her because
No, yeah, they changed that.
yeah, okay.
Oh, okay,
cool.
so she was
So
actually
I was
born,
paying
was she?
attention to the movie.
Kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how the TVA could zip her into the void from inside the womb. So I
Technically,
kind of assumed that
who-
she came out of the womb.
they got on the magic school bus and they drove in
Yeah.
there and they
Have you
Nice reference,
played
Dion.
like Fortnite? At the beginning of a Fortnite
Yeah.
match, you're on a school bus that's falling from the sky. That's what happened. I don't fucking know.
yeah.
I have to say, like, if I have like a complaint, my biggest complaint would be in not knowing the character, like just another
Just
Oh, no.
another
happen as
Xavier.
evil because evil.
Well, yeah, it's more like evil.
Like seemed a little. I loved the performance, but seemed as a character like fairly one note. Like, oh,
Yeah.
she's super powerful and evil just because.
Yeah. It's fine. That's what they kind of needed. But it was also nice to see that character realize because I kind of felt like they wanted to just throw in everyone that they could throw in at that time. And it was just nice to have a little bit of difference, but sort of also familiar because you're like, it's Xavier. You know?
Yeah.
It's a different kind,
mean,
though.
Like the only other bad guy that I could possibly imagine them trying to, wheel out would be like, an evil Xavier or a
Well, they couldn't do Onslaught. They may want to keep that for
they
later.
couldn't do Onslaught yet, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I enjoyed her like the visuals of her and the horror of her, sticking her hand in people's heads and everything. I thought that was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And I liked the level of power that she had, but yeah, there were a couple of times I was like, she disappears for a fairly significant proportion of the film because it's like, she's doing her own thing.
It's
They're just
unnecessary.
fighting.
Because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be about Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's only so many jokes you can write.
I just don't know if I feel any stakes when our two main characters are pretty much impervious to being harmed. When
It's
they're
emotional stakes.
Exactly.
okay.
Like they'll survive, but that their entire universe might die.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, this, like, I don't want to pick all of it apart. I just want to have it fun. Like, I want I got the things that I wanted out of it, which is Wade being a complete dick. Wolverine having an emotional journey, which, I got on board with that because I was like, he's a shit Wolverine. He kind of still wants to do the right thing. He's still a shit Wolverine. He needs to have a redemptive moment, kind of. Wade has just been Wade from the start to the end and is still shit. Even at the end, you're like, great. But I like the way that we go on a little side quest with Wade every time he opens his mouth. 'Cause he thinks something's happening, and then he's talking about getting pegged down the corridor with the guy who's making a lot of direct eye contact.
Like,
Can
it's
someone help me figure out what the like? I just got strong uncanny valley from Nice Pool.
Oh, yes.
What's going on there? Like,
Oh, he was definitely being de-aged.
Yeah.
yeah, but it was
Yeah.
like, but why? Like, because all I could see was uncanny valley. Like, it was really like it was tripping me out.
Oh,
Every
his
single scene
forehead
he
was
in.
so smooth.
Because he was nice pool.
It
Yeah.
was nice, Paul. Eh?
and his outfit was very shiny, and he was very good, and he had great hair, and was always backlit no matter what scene that he was in. Like, he had perfect lighting no matter what.
I did always I did love that right at the end. He's like, healing.
Say it with me. You're gonna live.
Like, that's funny. I mean, I just had a good time with the whole sort of film, no matter what happened within there.
Like, the reveal of the Void and all of the different X characters that, you know, where you've got your Sabretooth, you've got all of your, you know, X-Men
The Brotherhood of Mutants kind of.
You've got your
baddies.
20th Century Fox logo dropped in there because that's now hit the void.
Yep.
Like,
and a whole bunch of other shit too. And it's interesting. I was listening to another review of this, and they were saying that, you know, there's this thing that every time there's something that could be kind of cringe, they call it out ahead of time so that you can't really accuse them too much of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, we know we're doing it because we've actually signposted it. So you can say that that's shit, but we know.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this is a sequence that's very reminiscent of Mad Max. We know.
Yeah.
We're doing our Mad Max bit. What? Shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up and go with it. It's funny, okay?
Yeah. You have to go with us here.
Yeah.
Especially when they started, weren't they talking about the Hemsworths in there? This is the thing, I want to go back and watch it again and just try and remember all of the different things that they throw, because that was part of the beauty of it. It is just a non-stop, in-joke, self-referential, other referential, and then cameo heaven sort of film.
I have to say that some of the jokes were like so borderline offensive, but you really have to forgive because it's Ryan Reynolds and his delivery is just so on point. The line where somebody referenced, I think it was Nice Pool referenced Wolverine's costume, and he says, "Oh, don't worry, he's normally shirtless, but he's really let himself go after the divorce," like referencing Hugh's actual divorce from Deborah Lee. I was like, oh my god, they went there. Like, that is fresh. He only just got divorced like a year ago.
Yeah, but
I
you know
didn't
that,
even pick up on that.
But you know that probably was happening during the divorce, and it's just kind of like, oh fuck. But you know, all right, go with it. You know.
I mean, there was another line in there. Like, what the other group that we haven't talked about yet are the other good guys. So Blade, Elektra. Gambit.
Oh, fucking Wesley Snipes turning up as Blade was just one of those ones where I'm like, wow, I thought you did a great job there, but having fucking Wesley Snipes turn up, and Jennifer Garner.
Of all of the people to show up in this movie, he was the one I wasn't expecting ever. Like, you know, you kind of hear rumors that maybe some of the others might show up or whatever. Like, I'd heard rumors that Jennifer Garner might show up in it, and I thought that'd be funny.
Yes.
But fucking Wesley Snipes walks in the room, and also from the perspective of him being basically the progenitor of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like Blade from 1997?
8.
Oh, is it?
No,
oh, okay, right. Yeah.
One of the first DVDs I ever owned was Blade.
Oh.
Wow.
And The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'd all seen the advertising with X-23 in it. And I was just happy to see Gambit. But Blade fucking knocked me
Channing
for a
Tatum.
six.
I mean, come on.
I know. Oh my
And
god.
making him mumble was just...
Yeah. Yeah, who is your dialect coach? Was
The
like,
minion,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm glad it's not just me that was only picking up every other word.
But hats off to Channing Tatum for just doing that, being like, yeah, we'll do that. Like, give us your best accent. And he's like, no, make it worse. Mon cher, mon chéri. What?
The Gambit costume was so good though.
And what's more, not only did he look kind of stupid in it occasionally, because there were, like when you put that thing up the sides of his head, you're like, that does look dumb on film.
Yeah.
But then he had a couple of fucking amazing action beats where I was like, holy shit, that's actually the best we've ever seen Gambit put on screen.
Live action.
What could have been?
'Cause-
What could have been?
Yes.
It's so good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I did like that little underhand reference where Wesley's like, I'm the best blade and the only blade.
The only
And I'm
blade.
like, oh, well, so far.
And even that's not even true because there was a TV series of Blade.
Yeah. Sticky fingers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like all of that was good. I liked. Yes, it was mentioned a bit earlier by Casper, who was like, "Oh yeah," and the Jennifer Garner divorce, or like the reference to the Daredevil.
I love
was
that line where it's like, "Oh, sorry, we couldn't get Daredevil or whatever." And she's like, "Eh."
Yeah.
It was lovely to see Daphne Keane come back and reprise her role and help to play a little bit off of Hugh Jackman's ability to act and emote. And I love that they steered away from that a lot with like Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. They just kind of kept it away and was like, it's there, but he's just going to play it off. I love that they kept him in the mask most of the time, like Deadpool in the mask most of the time. I thought the introduction of the Wolverine mask was just the worst and the best sort of way to do that because you knew that it was just bullshit. But he got to pull it on and everyone just went, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you got to have your little bit where you jump through and you're doing your little pose. Cool. And then it
how
disappears.
Did you feel about the mask?
The Wolverine mask?
Yeah.
I think I lost my shit when he pulled it on. That might have been the last time I whacked Peter on that arm. I was like, no.
I mean, I also love that it went.
It took 24 years for the costume, but also 24 years for the mask.
I like that it also disappeared within like a conversation as well. Like he's talking at the end, and then
but he still had a whole fight scene in it.
No, but it cut away, and then it comes back, and it's just gone. Like it's not even hanging at the back or anything. It's just like mask off. I'm like,
I loved the putting it on because it was so fucking meta in that way of going, I'm just reaching behind my head and pulling a hard mask that is clearly hard fucking plastic.
That nobody saw back there.
No, that's out of nowhere. And suddenly putting it on and you're like...
It's like the stuff in your room, Quinny. It's just off the side of the
But
screen.
that's kind of how Wolverine's always pulled his mask on, if you like in the comics and all that, because it's supposed to
how
be...
any hero pulls a cowl on. It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it looked good. Like... It, seeing him with the white eyes and everything like that, I was like, oh shit, that's fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing him absolutely fucking go to town on a whole bunch of Deadpools.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like it's a hard thing. It was a hard thing for me to get around in the start to watch them like fighting each other. But I mean, in this film, Wolverine and Deadpool fight each other a lot across the whole film. And then when they fight together, they're literally fighting Deadpool. So this film could easily be called Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Yeah.
Instead of and. But I think Honda Odyssey must have paid them a lot of money. But that fight as a technicality was like technically that's a really good fight scene. Like that's a really fun fight scene.
The one
it has
in the car.
the one in the car where they're like killing each other, like beating each other up for a whole day inside a car. I really liked that fight scene. I thought the one at the start was way more fun. And then the one at the end was kind of, I think it was just not enough. But I mean, why am I complaining by that stage if I hadn't been destroyed by the feast that I'd been given? I don't know why. I think I'd have it anymore.
I did love that, in the end, their MacGuffin was utterly the most fucking ridiculous thing. Yeah, it's a giant box that you stick your hands in and it's going to destroy the universe and cool, whatever, And the thing to do it is down underneath it.
And so the only way to stop it is by dying.
Yeah, of course, 100%. But like also all the way through, they're signposting every moment, this is going to be shit, or this is going to be cheesy, or this is a ridiculous thing. We know it. Just shut up. Go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there was no way this was going to have a really good story that makes you understand and makes use of all of the rest of the films that have come before and provide enough information to continue on with something. No, you're just having fun. Just have fun with it. Just enjoy it. Have your popcorn with a big fucking popcorn fuck bucket. Pick up
Did
your
any of you get a themed popcorn or anything like that?
No.
No, I
I
didn't.
didn't even see if they had any, to be honest.
No.
Notice anything in the candy bar?
No, they'd all sold out. Because Sexpo was
like
on.
the metal ones, but
Sexpo's been on. They sold out of those popcorn buckets with a giant hole.
We didn't want the Dune one.
No, you've seen the Wolverine and the Wolverine one, right? Popcorn
It was
bucket.
a joke.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty
to
sure there
me.
are some around, but anyway, not the giant mouth ones. There are ones that have their heads on them, but anyway. Sorry, Predicanga makes an interesting point. He says that it feels like the ending was a bit wasted. If the MacGuffin had maybe killed one or both of them, would we have, would that have given the ending a little more pop?
You can't
I
because
just kind of feel like it's not what the film was for.
Yeah, exactly.
we had our ending with Logan. So to try to do that again is dumb. And at the start of Deadpool 2, he literally blows himself up. So
No, it was just an interesting point that Predicanga raised, and I did have a brief moment where I was like, "Oh, they're both alike. Oh, okay." But then, it's what the movie is for, which is it's comedy and
Yeah, but I think the whole point of it was the two of them working together and like being opposites and not getting along, and then learning to work together, and that they did make a great team, and then therefore they should help each other to defeat the MacGuffin, and the payoff is they both survive and become friends.
Yeah, and it does make a lot of sense. Like thematically, it did. I had a brief moment where I was like, but then it made more sense. And I like the thing at the end where it's like, hey, are we going to see you again? To Wolverine's like, nope.
Yeah. But I also do like that. I hope to see them again in Uncanny X-Force, part of the part of the Disney brand later, because they're going to be making these till he's 90.
Missy's asking the question: why did a giant man or Ant-Man end up in the void? So from the comic Old Man Wolverine, there is a thing that the giant man in that particular comic died somewhere, and they built an entire town out of his corpse. Which I think they've just gone, hey, that's a cool image. Let's fucking use that in this movie.
And also
But
saying
basically everything is a reference.
Yeah. And by also saying, oh look, Paul Rudd finally aged.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. All of this is fun. Oh, I love In-Joke City. Get to see Lady Deathstrike, get to see Callisto, get to see Sabretooth, get to see Juggernaut-ish.
Poor old Juggernaut. That was one of those ones where it was like, couldn't get Vinnie Jones, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I feel sad that there weren't a lot more X-Men in there. I really wanted to see just, Famke Janssen or someone just show up in the void. You could have done that. But I mean, why am I complaining? I still got a great time.
Yeah. And I mean, you could have had literally anyone show up in that void and everyone would be like, amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah. But the whole thing just continues on at a fucking ridiculous pace and gives you everything that you hopefully wanted.
Yeah, it was a fun time out. And I mean, I think that's really what Marvel kind of needed, the shot in the arm at the moment, at this time. And I'm conflicted about the announcement from SDCC the other week, which is like, it's Robert Downey Jr. again. Be like, cool.
It's like, I feel like we needed a distraction from like all of their failed announcements, so they just shoved Robert at us, and we're like, "Look, guys, he's back." and it's
Yeah.
like
We
"Ugh,
absolutely
is
don't know what we're doing.
this supposed to be
Yeah.
some kind of multiversal reference as well? Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Doctor Doom, but he looks like Tony Stark. Like, are they going to reference it?
There
Because
is a comic
he's
book about it.
definitely
It
going
is.
up against like the actual Avengers. Like, they have said that he is
Mhm.
going to appear in Avengers 5. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because there are a lot of people on the internet who are like, "Hey, if you've read the comics, you're not that worried," and I'm like, "Well, I haven't read those comics,
Yeah.
so I don't know." But yeah, what it very much was, hey, we've got a massive opening weekend for this movie, and we want to ride that hype train, and we want to try and brush away all of that awkward Kang business. We're
mean-
renaming the movie. We're changing our slate. It is no longer the Kang dynasty. It is whatever the Doom
Doomsday.
it is.
Doomsday, which is a different character from a different universe.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, nothing's ever gone wrong by retaining people in jobs and roles and places in organizations far longer than they need to be there and paying them extortionate amounts of money while not allowing anyone new to come up and have ideas and make new things, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And we wonder why superhero fatigue is a thing.
Yeah. It's all cyclical.
I mean, at least they also referenced that here. Like,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're really kind of throwing it out there that, yeah, we know. we know there's been a lot of stuff going on, not all of it good. And and I got to say, it is actually nice to have a year where there is one Marvel movie. That's it.
Yeah.
This is all we're getting this year. This is enough. Everybody gets to just take a breath and hopefully come back with something different, new, whatever. Cass was asking, there is no Loki season 3. There's only 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Loki's going to be doing if he does come back.
Sitting.
He's a little bit busy.
And can I
doing a
ask you a
lot of
question?
sitting.
Actually, here's the thing. It may get me destroyed on threads or in the chat. Or something.
Yeah, go on.
Just
Ask
one
it in
sec
a safe
question.
space here.
Yeah.
So
There's only a few people here who will flame you.
the Thor that cradles Deadpool,
Okay.
which he's shown, is Matt Damon, right?
No.
It wasn't?
It's a composition of the scene from Thor: Dark World where he's cradling Loki, who's dying on Svartalheim, and
Yeah, but it was Matt Damon, right?
no,
I thought it was Matt Damon, but maybe okay.
No, I went looking because you said that to me, and I did a lot of searching to find whether it was Matt Damon, and it's
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
All right then. I was
It
wrong.
would have been funnier if it had been Matt Damon.
Yeah. Yes, it
Everyone's
would have
like
been.
reading too far into it. Like when Paradox was like, "Oh, that's from distance in the future." I'm like, no, it was some bullshit that you slapped together to convince Wade to do this thing for you. Like, don't read into it too much, guys. Like,
Yeah, either that or it's a joke.
yeah.
Like, it's
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think if there's one thing that I really loved and took away from it is that they put a pin or a nail or buried the 20th Century Fox versions of all of these characters and gave them an ending. Was it a great ending?
Yes.
No.
Like,
But it gave them an opportunity to go out and be like,
it
thanks
was
for the memories.
closure.
Yeah,
It was closure
exactly.
on those universes.
And especially
Yeah, and
because...
And even one that never came to fruition with poor Channing.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I would happily have watched another half an hour of Channing Tatum flipping around doing his stupid French accent and flinging cards at people and going kaboom. All of that was just fucking icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
And also at the end of it, we're left in a world where, I mean, there's a Wolverine has just fucked off. That's fine. We never have to see Hugh again. He's done. I don't think we need him back. But if we wanted to, we could very easily have an X-23.
Yeah.
And step up to be the new Wolverine. And I'm 100% on board with that. Because once again, she was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all possible. It's a brand new world, and at least this was one of those things that we get to have with this, which I think is a bit rare and a bit great, is it can finish there. Like, there's nothing that necessarily says that this will continue on and that we will have Deadpool 4 through 15. You know, we don't have to keep going. All it said was when it started and through everything that's gone through is like, here is a really fun movie. Please have fun with this. It's going to take apart everything that is kind of finished now and allow the space for the other stuff to do whatever it's doing. Like, it's not necessarily MCU. It's just adjacent to all of that kind of shit. And I love that they didn't touch on the Spider Universe or anything like that. They left the rest of those franchises alone.
Then not allowed to because it's Sony.
Yeah, exactly. But like the 20th Century Fox, and
I mean, the closest we get to it is him going.
Yeah. I mean, it's fuck. I mean, it's still taking the piss out of DC. I mean, too. That's just funny as well. You know, those shit stains across the down the road. It's like, oh, fuck, okay. And it was fun to see Henry Cavill as Wolverine, and especially did his arm loading thing.
And I love that.
Yeah.
My honest reaction after watching this movie was the amount of cameos and in-jokes was entirely satisfying, and I think that I'd be very happy to just put a pin in Deadpool there. But if he came back in any other iteration or another film, I wouldn't hate it. But I think the Deadpool franchise is finished.
Yeah. And I think
I'm more than happy to leave it there and to leave it with the entire Marvel X-Men, the Fox X-Men universe. Like, I think we're good. Everybody, we're good. We can go home. Cool. Especially after that post-credit or the credits montage, which honestly felt like it was a very, very nice, neat little bow.
If you play Green Day's Time of Your Life on anything, it means you've wrapped that up with a bow and you're putting it away.
Yeah. And all of it, like not just the X-Men, like we're also going to do Fan-4-Stick and we're going to do some of the other Fantastic Four films and anything that Fox touched. Yeah, cool. Just wrap all that up, put it away, and then put that back on the shelf.
Yeah.
And we're good.
And I didn't know Chris Evans had such a potty mouth.
I did like that everybody is waiting for the post credits going, what are they going to do? Like, are they going to lean into something Marvel? Are they going to know?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. That one was just a fun one. And again, you didn't have to go like, oh, and then here's a cockroach that is talking to someone. You know, what?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What was that?
Suicide Squad. Remember all that shit? It's like, oh, we're putting these Easter eggs at the end of this. It's a character no one has ever heard to. It's a talking cockroach. It's like, what? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Wow.
I don't want to have to care.
Thanks for making me remember something I wanted to forget.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've been corrected. Casper has said it's the worm in Shazam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, close to blood enough.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's how little we care.
Yeah. The DC universe ended with me watching a rat and a cockroach make out in Doom Patrol. That was highbrow.
The DC universe ended for me with watching the end of fucking Aquaman 2, whatever it was. And
I still haven't seen it.
Me neither.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I love the fact that is comprehensively the end of that DC universe. And I've never seen a film end with a more spectacular whimper. Like, you know, no big explosion, nothing great or anything. It like ends with the dude eating a piece of shit or something. I can't remember what it is, but it is literally just a shit gag that doesn't land and it ends. And you're like,
thanks for that. I don't want any spoilers because there are people in the chat who haven't seen Aquaman 2 either, and they'll have to wait for our drunk cinema so they can drink while they watch it.
We should drink and send off the DC extended universe or whatever the fuck.
Drown our sorrows. Ha ha ha. Oh, dear.
I mean, and then we can watch the director's cut of Rebel Moon.
Look, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? And I'm asking the chat for this as well. Is there any other piece of Deadpool Wolverine that you want to talk about? I mean, I know that, you know, Peter, if you could just calm down and be a bit quiet and let some other people speak.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Pete.
He got a lot of those X-Men references after we forced her to watch 97.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you hadn't made me watch 97, that like as it is, there was no moment in the film where I didn't feel completely left behind. Like, you know, there was nothing where sometimes I watch these things and I'm like, I have, like, everyone's gasping and I have no fucking idea who this character is. I'm going to have to ask afterward. But because you made me watch X-Men 97,
you're welcome.
I at least understood half of the Gambit reference.
Yeah.
Didn't understand the deep Channing Tatum bit of the reference, but like, oh, I understand that character. But it was
You're
like,
doing your own little Captain America there.
Well,
I understood that reference.
Constantly, this entire podcast is me going, I understood that reference. Amazing. But this is not a plot movie. I don't think this is going to have any bearing on the rest of anything. It exists entirely for its own purpose and our own amusement, and I don't think it was trying to do anything other than that. And therefore, I am forgiving it any comprehensive treatment of but why that I would normally give something, because what's the point? Like, they just did it to make us laugh.
But if you were going
whys were answered.
Yeah.
It was because.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you
whys were answered on screen.
But if you were going to critique it from a cinema perspective. Yes.
That'd be a different conversation.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of people said that some of this CGI was a bit janky here and there. And I was like, yeah, probably I didn't care.
Yeah.
No.
You just have to go with it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I didn't love the fingers through the face. I thought that was really janky. I found a little bit distracting. But you know,
that's kind of a character. I liked it. Yeah, I just had a good time, and that's what I hope people do.
I'm not like a huge fan of like lots and lots of violence, and but you know, I knew what movie I was seeing, so like, you know, wouldn't like go to this movie and then dock points for violence. That would be insane.
Did you have pearls you were clutching while you were watching the movie going,
this is not one that I would sit down and watch with my boomers. It's possibly not even one that I would a lot of people I know see, only because I'm like, if you haven't, like, if you're less of a Marvel nerd than me, and I'm like the lowest rung of Marvel nerd that you can possibly be, like, if you're any less than that, you're not like, you're not going to love the film. So it is niche, but it, you know, who are we talking to? Who's following this that isn't at least on the lowest rung of the Marvel nerd ladder?
I was telling my mum about the jokes and like laughing, and she's like she didn't get them. I'm like, oh fuck, you don't. This is going to be completely wasted on you.
Yeah.
She told me she's seen the first Deadpool, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm surprised. She's like, I'll have to watch the second one. Is it on Disney? I'm like, yes, it's on Disney.
Yes, it is.
I think she only wants to see this because Hugh's in it, but like, she's not going to get any of the jokes.
She's going to want to see it because Hugh's in it, but she's going to be happy with it because she'll get to get the backstory of Dogpool. Yes, there was a question in the chat. What do we think about Dogpool? I mean, what is it with fucked up looking dogs?
They're charming.
I love Dogpool, and I want Dogpool to be my little friend. I'm not entirely sure I could do an entire scene with Dogpool licking my mouth while I talk. that was a lot. I was like, Jesus, Ryan, fucking hell, man.
And the other question was, what are we doing next week? Or what are we doing
this month
that's coming up? Oh, look, there's a lot going on. There's Borderlands, there's Alien Romulus, there's the Crow remake. There's Umbrella Academy Season 3, which is the final season. And someone asked this, was like, oh, Time Bandits. And I have to say, I have watched an episode of Time Bandits, and
I turned off the first episode of Time Bandits.
Oh dear. I've got them there to watch, and I haven't got round to it yet. So
it feels like a midweek afternoon children's show.
Oh dear.
With a lot more money.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't mind some plastic rocks and some rug monsters instead of what we got because, anyway. Hey, look, it's only one episode, and you can't hate something off one episode.
Watch me.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, yeah, we will let you know sometime in the next, I don't know, 2 days what
Yeah,
the
yeah.
plan is for August.
Yeah, it's not out yet. It's not till next month. Next month isn't for
Yeah.
like 2 days.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time. Shut up.
We may even have a conversation after this podcast about
Yeah.
what we are doing for next month.
Yeah. I would love to say that we could talk about Transformers 1, but we can't because that doesn't come out until September.
Wow.
Look, I can give you
Keep
my
that one in the pocket.
I can give you my social reaction though, Quinny.
Yes.
It's worth the price of admission to see it in the cinema.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's my social
That's good to
reaction.
know.
You should go watch it in
my
the
social
cinema.
reaction was fuck yes.
And the first trailer was balls, and I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I've seen
No.
it now, and I can say
Yeah.
it's worth the money. Like, yeah, buy a ticket.
The trailer I watched, I'm like, oh, that looks like a good kids movie.
It's not that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the trick. That first trailer made it look like a very goofy, kid-friendly movie. It's not that.
Wow.
And also it added to the lore. It
Okay.
adds to the cinematic, the Transformer universe. It doesn't subtract from it.
Oh, and it feels like it's got nothing to do with any of those fucking Michael Bay films.
Oh, well,
like
we love that.
Yeah, it is so much more entertaining than those. So yeah, but we'll talk about that in September sometime.
Oh. And look, I mean, I think Casper's in there talking about what about Round the Twist or Spellbinders?
Oh,
That's some great,
hell.
that's some deep cuts. I was only talking today to Quinny about some of the shows that I would like to do, and don't forget that we've got great shows out there like Airwolf and The Highwayman. That stars Sam G. Jones and Mark Jacko Jackson. Yes, you heard that right. Thrilled. I can see everyone's
Highlander, the TV show. Yeah, I'd be right there for it. But Highwayman, yeah, that's a whole different beast.
Hey, you leave that alone.
There's a lot that we've got to look forward to talking about. There's a lot of TV. There's a lot of movies.
It's a busy month
got
next
many
month.
things to talk about.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Look, go, if you've already seen Deadpool, Wolverine, go and see it again. It's fun.
Yeah. And tell other people whether you loved it or not.
Really? Without spoiling it for them. You can't spoil it for people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to try. We could say raid people, but it's just not a thing. It's just not going to happen.
Just nothing's happening tonight. That's okay. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Hope you all had a good July. I hope you had a Christmas in July. No, not something.
No.
Not something that's fun.
No.
Right.
I don't want Christmas in December.
What do we do in August?
Stuff.
Stuff. Yeah, it's weird. Do we start prepping for Halloween?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Time to start baking and getting ready for Halloween.
Yes.
It's only 3 months away.
Yeah, get onto that, Pete. Come on, you are the biscuit queen.
Get back into your get back to your regularly scheduled programming and watching the Olympics. I mean, not the Olympics.
The Olympics.
The Olympics. Yes, you got to go watch the Olympics.
I don't give a shit about the Olympics.
I shall not be watching.
I like just watching the chaos that seems to be coming out of them all the time. It's like, oh, this terrible thing happened. I'm like, oh well. Right. Thanks everyone. Deadpool, Wolverine. It's a great time. Have fun. Oh wait, which one? One last question. Which one are you, Deadpool or Wolverine? Ooh.
Oh.
I'm Mr.
Pick
Deadpool.
one?
Yeah, you have to pick one. You have to get
Who do we relate to, or who is our favorite?
no sitting on the fence with this one. You're either Team Deadpool or Team Wolverine. I'm going Team
Peter.
Wolverine.
Team Peter.
Yeah.
Team Wolverine in the chat. Yeah, that's right. All the chat
Yeah.
people. Yeah, Team Wolverine. But so far, Jill, Peter, and Quinny are sitting on the fence, so they're going to get mind wiped.
Jesus.
Yep.
Like that doesn't happen to me on a daily basis. I walk into a room and I'm like, what are they coming here to do?
Yeah, if you guys don't, if you guys refuse to choose, you end up on Team Cassandra.
I was actually thinking about just choosing Team Cassandra.
Oh wow. Jesus, Pete.
I love this. It's like, I can't decide. I'll just stick with the dictator I've got.
Vegetative state sounds like a holiday right now, so I'll take it.
Vegetative state.
Just catatonia. Sign me up.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
What do you choose?
Team Gambit all the way.
You mean mon frère?
Okay. I should have done
wonder
fucking
if-
synopsis.
Yeah, you
of
should
Gambit.
have done
Honestly,
it.
were some of those lines nonsense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. 100%.
What are you doing around here? Oh, mon frère. And with that, I'm going to bid you all a very kind of adieu. Also, au revoir.
Au revoir.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl,